All right, let's jump right into it here as both junglers are going to be starting on the bottom side of the map and making their way to the top. To orange start for Max and a purple start for Chibi. As they make their way up towards the top side, it looks like gold is going to be on top side this time round. So at least both junglers know what they're doing. Wow, that was a good pull coming in from Rossi. Really well timed.
Very well timed. I think that's definitely study how Zorn plays the Kufra. Sometimes you just take Tyrant's Revenge level 1, and then if you land it on the enemy mid laner, you essentially just push out the wave. Very good reaction, honestly. I was expecting maybe Rossi would think about that early invade, give you kind of stall out the Roger. Probably not worth it in this case, as long as ZachQT is able to clear out the wave.
That's what I was thinking too, but maybe he had like a rough understanding of the openers coming in from Team Vamos. Usually they get control over mid lane first before, especially if you don't see like that early engagement level 1 at gold lane, right? At this point, they're going to take their time. After winning the Lethal Wanderer, Max does have a slight EXP lead, but Chibi has been power farming the entire way through, really abusing the mobility and transformational dashes coming in from Roger.
That does make the life of ZachQT slightly hard, and also kind of forcing Rossi to be there longer than he wants to. Ideally, he wants to be able to go into the jungle, find out where Chibi is, but that is kind of a no-go this time. Bottom lane freezed up, these XP laners.
Well, they don't really want to walk up here, especially considering that the minions have pushed past the halfway point. If Smooth goes up to take a minion now, like physically auto-attack it, he will die. And I think he senses this, right? A majority of Team Vamos is making sure that they are addressing the advances of the JP Niners. Whenever they lean to one side of the map, they match them straight away.
You see the idea from both teams. Now on the other side, the bush. Engage onto Ye trees, chip away at his HP. He will hit that level 4 though. That means he has the Infernal Pursuit. ZachQT swipe back. The final slash gets away. Trading HP, but JP9 has come out a bit healthier.
Yeah, and worse yet, Team Vamos is going to be missing their EXP laners ult. That final slash was supposed to be the difference maker here. Yeah, 3 can do a lot. Oh.
That puts on away. Hits 4 just in time, so there's a chance for the counter engage. Smooth in the midst of things, followed by Ye 3. Of course, the Eternal Guard drop down. Zorn wishes the ult, but does go down. First blood for JP Niners.
They find first blood. They find a trade at the very least. At least Ye 3 is alive. He's going to be able to start getting a lead over Smooth, who's too low to actually participate in this upcoming turtle fight. They're going to make their way over, and I think now we need to see JP Niners get a little bit aggressive, right? We need them to start stealing away camps coming in from Chibi, because so far in terms of the laning phase, everybody isn't creating much advantages, and I think so far ZachQT is out pushing Warlord pretty consistently overall.
Yeah, that, and also see if you can free up Rossi from being locked down by Zorn. Start to put pressure on Chibi. Good news, Low Liao uncontested. That's always great. That's forced to Entropy. That's Blazing Duet traded in return. Obviously a longer cooldown than the Natan out. Team Vamos sets up a gang squad here.
Why does he want to actually go for that full clear? If he goes for a fast full clear, the next wave is still going to end up in the middle of the lane. It's not like he's generating an advantage or leaving the lane. I don't think that was necessary per se, but we'll see. We'll wait and see, right? Let's see how Lolio plays it out.
Don't really force out much from Nets as well. Okay, another Infernal Pursuit. From this point onwards, Ye 3 will win the trade against Smooth, and it's the unfortunate truth. And I like the pathing from JP Niners, right? We're not taking any risks. We don't know where Zorn is, so we are gonna walk into our jungle.
Okay, Loliels. Looks like he traded pretty heavily against Nets on the next upcoming wave that he didn't ult. After he ulted, forcing Nets to actually take a recall. He should lose 1 minion on his way back. So at this point in time, it's a winning lane for Loliels, and I think that the JP Niners, they really need to do something right now because it's too passive and they're giving free time over to Team Vamos. Yes, this is what we should be doing. Rossi already scouting for information, sees that Chibi is taken to his beetle camp. They can start to match it, but worse yet, if they start walking in the river, they're still susceptible to getting jumped on by Zorn.
That's why they haven't been doing that, taking that path. They know that XP lanes right now favors Ye 3, which is in of itself very good news. Top side as well. Nets getting really shoved underneath his turret by Low Liao. So 2 lanes where they have the advantage. It's also setting up just in time for the turtle, and Ye 3, he's gonna start running over.
Yeah, imagine both junglers unable to find like gank opportunities, and it's so much worse for Vamos because of that turtle, the EXP lead, and with the kill that fell over to JP Niners, the lanes have been skewed so very much, and I think that at this point, Team Vamos might just want to give this away.
Ye 3 in a very good position as well. Just spot out Smooth, instantly commits the ult, just find the reset. Smooth is the sinner, final slash onto Rossi, into a big implosion! And Rossi sets it up for JP9ers. They get the turtle. Vamos on full retreat. They were able to get out. Chibi also saved. They want to get Year 3, but Year 3 has the ult. Constant reset. JP9ers secures the objective.
Dear Lord, Phoveus buys a lot of time. Great motions coming in for the JP9ers. Rossi finding an amazing ult there to kind of change the landscape. That's what they're looking for. A big group up from the side of Team Vamos as the lanes start to collapse.
Man, Smooth almost killed his entire team with that ult.
Yup.
You gotta be a lot more careful with your final slashes. Miracle they lost no one in that fight.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't lose too many people as well. I thought maybe Zoran might have to like throw himself into the back line, maybe get a Tyrant's Revenge and Tyrant's Rage to try and slow down that fight and give up his life so the rest could live. But the fact that they walk away with all 5 is already a miracle. At this point, we do see that GB is trying to make an effort towards that top side of the map to pick up just the side camps. Whatever neutral creeps he can find along the river is the way that he's keeping up with Max so far.
I wonder if JP9ers kept track of the battle spells, because Zorn didn't even have to use his flicker just now. Same for Warlord. Gold Crab going over the net. Lo Liao still, despite not having any sizable gold lead, he is really putting the pressure onto Nets, freeing up Year 3 to walk around the map as well. Smooth shows up. Final Slash is ready, but he is crowd controlled. They just dunk on him. Second kill for ZachQT.
Really good stuff. Smooth, really not having much of a game here. Laning phase pretty difficult to get to the Phoveus, but then even walking out of those laning trades, dealing with these team fights from JP9ers, they seem a lot more coordinated this time. It feels like they are, but at the same time, it's not like Rossi is spotting people out all the time. Ooh, Loliel is getting chunked out pretty hard.
Zorn even used his flicker just now. They're just gonna use the implosion on him. He's got nothing. Can they catch though? Zorn will leap away. Yeah, not gonna go into that bush. It's all about the objective. JP9ers, they do lose bot tier 1 thanks to Nets setting up the wave just now. To see if they can get this objective. It's a dance. 5-man from both teams ready to fight.
They're gonna take their time on this one. Probably Year 3 is gonna get in there. Oh,
and jump in on this move again. Rossi waiting for the implosion. Flickers in, goes for the push on the Chibi to help Max get the turtle. Chibi will get out. Same with Smooth. Zorn with the conceal. Will fall to ZachQT. Year 3 just hopping on him. 2 of them getting slammed, dunked, and a wipeout in favor of JP9ers.
Just the disrespect from Vamos here. The resets from Year 3. That ult has no cooldown. He just needs to apply Sinner's Mark. They can't get away from him. He sticks to them like glue. And Max and ZachQT, with the help of even Rossi, making sure that they can't just be peeled away.
Rossi really, he won the entire fight without implosion. Sure, he threw his life away, but the setup really very well planned out. Fighting in these choke points, it's a death sentence for Vamos. 4.5k goal lead for JP9ers.
Yeah, Team Vamos, they've got to really pick and choose where they want to fight and how they start pulling backwards. They can't pull back together anymore, and I think that's the worst part because their composition is very much playing around the anchor Warlord. If Warlord is forced to move, that's when Year 3 gets value.
That's why you open space up for Rossi also. I mean, ZachQT is on a roll. 5-0-2 so far this entire game. 100% kill participation.
He's making it real tough for Zorn to find these engagements as well, right? Even if he does find a good target, well, it's unless it's ZachQT, it's just not worth his time, right? These counter engages have been consistently getting to Team Vamos, now allowing JP9ers to get that 5k goal lead. Both Rossi and Zorn know what exactly they're doing. It's just man-to-man defense, right? Opening up the map as much as they can, but making sure they see the other.
Yeah, Zorn finally is the one that's running away. As long as Rossi is around, Loliel should be safe.
Forced away. Loliel's posing that much of a threat. He's playing a lot better today, I'll give him that.
Yeah, he also thanks to his team kind of opening up the game for him, right? I suppose the early trade against Nets also benefited Loliel. I think when you look at the net worth, the goal laner should be in the same spot. You do find Zorn again, but this time the follow-up not there quite yet. Warlock committing the ultimate though. Not gonna have it for the Lord.
Yeah, it's a little difficult. I think this is one of the games where I think that Chibi should have... it's tough, because think of it this way, right? If you are playing a Roger jungle, you need to be greedy, you need the items to be able to have the power to one-shot your targets. But unfortunately, all of your lanes don't feel your pressure, unable to find any gank opportunities, unable to skew any of the lanes. The majority of Team Vamos' side laners are just not strong enough to keep up if Chibi does decide to dive in. At this point, JP9ers can play a slow game against Team Vamos, but at the same time, they also have to think about the scalability of their composition, which I think Team Vamos has a much higher cap in comparison to JP.
Yeah. Definitely. I think if you're JP9ers, you're looking to pass the baton over to Lo Liao at some point.
Yes.
Right? Once Max kind of maxes out.
Well, I mean,
he has 6 assists on the Julian, right?
He's playing support Julian at this point. Those chains are more important than his life.
It is hard for Chibi. I mean, he got the only 2 kills that Vamos has right now. How do you jump into the fight? Your front lines are getting destroyed.
I think they got to just wait for Nets to hit 3 items, right? Until he gets that Holy Crystal, I think it's going to be a slow game. The tempo is definitely not in control of Team Vamos. They have no... I mean, they do have ways to initiate, but the counter engagement is too hard, so that's just one tool out of the toolbox, and they can't do anything about it. They're just going to have to defend.
All the waves synced up. See, JP9ers, they will be trying to fish for structural damage. Obviously, won't be able to get any. Holy Shield of the inhibitors will clear out the wave. That's Holy Crystal for Nets, 11 minutes in. Critical mass slowly building up to that point. Okay. Now they gotta find a fight.
I mean, it's pretty good. That means he does have legitimate damage to actually get through them. Ooh, wow, that's a very early Winter Crown purchase coming in from Max. I think he's expecting the damage from Nets to actually go through. I'm not sure if he noticed it straight away or if that's just his regular item build, but we'll find out in the post game.
It's all about buying time. Rasi was fishing for something, and that does force out the entropy from Nets. I think he's starting to feel the heat as well. Look at the item build, right? Dominus Eyes, Radiant Armor, Wishing Lantern for ZQT, 2 Winter Crowns for JP9ers. Not just on Max, but also on Year 3.
Yeah, they know they just need to buy time for Loliels at the end of the day to get up the...
I mean, Lo Liao has one also.
Yeah. All of them. Are they all trying to just... I guess they just don't want to give Chibi a reset, maybe in case Smooth pushes them out of the way. They have counterplay. It's not a bad item, don't get me wrong. There's definitely use cases for it in this game. But I think that Team Vamos, if they are going to play for hard engage, it's probably not going to be the best bet. Who can actually bait it out? Smooth shouldn't be the sacrificial. I guess Warlord? I guess Warlord with the Dominator's Descent and hopefully baits out an engage from JP?
I suppose so. You're only really looking at Year 3 and Rasi in that case, right? You don't get too far to the back.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot. I mean, Smooth needs some really godlike catch.
It's hard with their draft.
With Winter Crown, it makes it even harder. It doesn't even guarantee any kills, right? Lo Liao even has Purify.
Man, this is a tough puzzle to crack if you're Team Vamos here. I guess you really just have to outplay them if they want to survive till the 42k mark. But JP9ers not making it easy, right? Really starting to suffocate as their fingers and hands get closer and closer and closing off their windpipes.
This is the point where we want to see if JP9ers can convincingly close out the game, right? Second Lord, this one is going to start cracking structures with that empowered charge. And this is also kind of murky territory for JP9ers. A bit shaky on that week 1 from this Second Lord transition to the potential endgame. They do set up the waves nicely, that's good. Well, except for the mid one, that one just got cleared out.
Yeah, they need to stagger these waves consistently, right? I think JP9ers, they need to make sure that all the waves collide at the same time, mainly because Nets is going to be their dedicated wave clearer, right? Warlord can only hit one target at a time, and he doesn't. I don't think he has enough items to one-shot a wave just yet. Oh, wait. It's getting dangerous.
They want to purify, but he didn't even have to commit the implosion. That's the threat of this Tigro. He's now going to just conceal in. Just kind of box Vamos out and away from the inhibitor.
Okay, alright, but this is only the second wave, and the most that they've gotten out of it was a single inhibitor, which is pretty good for JP9ers at this point of time. They're trying to set up checkmate angle. They're 3k away from it, and they've already opened up one inhibitor. The second Lord is going to be devastating for Team Vamos.
So the second Lord with one inhibitor down. Then the third Lord could be the game ender. You see, I mean, this point guard role that Rasi has assigned himself to is working out very well. Of course, you still got to be worried about Chibi. His damage is stacking up. First move, catch onto Rasi. He's just going to dash away with the Sacred Hammer. Lo Liao getting chipped out as well. So Vamos, they can still drag this game out, no problem. But Now the question is, who is gonna make that first move and get the fight going?
I don't know. I think that JP Niners at this point clear their own jungle, wait for Team Vamos to actually walk out as a kill squad, and then look for the fight afterwards. They know that bottom side is always going to be pushing. That could be just free real estate for the JP Niners. Whoever shows up, you basically jump and kill them. You can play on the top side of the map, hide in enemy jungle. If they walk out for the wave, they die. Like, there's a lot of ways for JP Niners to slow down the economic growth from Team Vamos, because they're getting closer and closer to that 42K.
As long as JP Niners make sure that the top tier 1 somehow stands, it's going to limit where Team Vamos can go. And unfortunately, Team Vamos are kind of relegated to that bottom quadrant of the map, and that's not where the next Lord is going to spawn.
Okay, both are holding positions. Good read by Team Vamos, especially since they don't want to go further past. They've already gotten the real estate on No Man's Land down by bottom side. River, as both sides are just looking at each other, they know that they're on the other side as well.
The fact that JP Niners, they're letting the top wave kind of just stabilize on its own. Vamos, they can't even show up there. Ness will eventually show himself bottom. They need to take care of the wave.
I think he should walk up just a little bit more. I think that at this point, Zorn should probably walk up, check out what's going on in the enemy jungle, and if he sees missing camps, that's when they start moving. Oh, here we go.
Who's gonna be the spearhead? Year 3, Rasi was looking for a potential engage, couldn't get the push on the smooth. Year 3 continues with the engage though, losing most of his health. Final Slash does miss. Winter Crown out from Year 3. That's entropy committed by Nets. Winter Crown for Lolia as well. They drop the Eternal Guard to take out Smooth. The fight now splits into two parts. Chibi wants to reset, but it's just Year 3 with immortality. JP Niners juggle Vamos very well.
Nets has got to be so mad. So mad. Wants to go for the kill, can't seem to do it. Let's see if Chibi can go for the steal though.
Now without Winter Crown, Chibi leaps in. Immortality pop. Rasi loses his second life as well. Nets cleans him up. Year 3 doesn't want to be a part of the fight, but now Lord in kind of murky territories. Year 3 is going to be spotted out by Chibi. And Nets collects a double kill. Team Vamos turning the fight around.
They forgot their positioning. They forgot who's the anchor of the team. They have to play around Zach QT's cooldowns. If not, he doesn't want to be part of this fight.
And Max, he wants to try, but he's so late. Eternal God was dropped. Nets picks up Zach QT. Lodiao goes for the spin. BMI is out to safety, but Warlord zaps him. JP Niners just throwing away the lead of a lifetime.
They missed the checkmate angle. They really did. If they're going to fight, you have to commit. If you are going to take that Lord, you also have to commit. And this is going to be a huge swing of momentum for Team Vamos, who finally hit critical mass. 2 mid turrets already destroyed. Give them an inhibitor while you're at it.
More than a 7k ghost swing. And Rasi is going to vacuum 4 of them. Put them under the crystal, and now Year 3 turn. Can you hold on for 9 more seconds? Not possible. Team Vamos makes a comeback in game number 1.
Oh, that's a terrible way to drop the game. Nicely done for Team Vamos. They hold out, they find the opportunity, and they see a missed position to punish at the most critical point of the game. Is just before, when they were currently under check, they couldn't get the checkmate. JP Niners, they fumbled the ball.
They absolutely dropped it at the end. That was the Lord that could have really decided the pace of the series and whether Niners could ride the wave for potential 2-0, the biggest upset we've seen, but instead it's the other way around. Vamos pulling off a comeback and really just showing the fans that they are not to be doubted.
It just takes one mistake, especially when you have that much of a lead, to swing all of that gold back into your enemy's pockets. Really frustrating if you are a JP Niners fan, or even the JP Niners themselves. I'm sure the players have something to think about. But yeah, they gotta make sure that they remember the formation of their composition. They gotta funnel back in to Zach QT. And if he doesn't have his cooldowns, he's probably shouting, I don't have fear, I don't have stun. Let's back up for a second and look for the full reset.
Yeah, even you reach the point where you see the slight disconnect between the players, right? Year 3, he didn't want to be a part of that, but the rest of the team want to do the dance. A bit of hesitation causing the fall of JP Niners in game 1. But right now, let's go to Team Vamos' side to look at our MVP for game number 1. It's gonna be Nez, the guy bullied in the early game, but he was the one who picked up the pieces and make the comeback happen.
Yep, steadily growing with the game, which is shocking, right? Because as much as we've seen Lolios being very aggressive in his laning phase, forcing Nets to actually recall a couple of times, he still managed to pull through with full items and match the Trinity with his own build, which is far more expensive than the Trinity.
And talk about being kind of pulled around like a ragdoll.